What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I got a few things to talk to you about today. Just gonna run through it really fast. Go ahead and get right into it. Don't waste any time. So first of all, looks like we are in voluntary mini camp right now. Ahead of the draft, which is at the end of this month. There are players, veteran players and stuff have reported. They're doing some basic workouts and stuff. Not a whole lot going on, obviously. It's the infancy stages of the off-season workout program and stuff like that. So, but there is some stuff to talk about. First of all, Mike Gesicki changed from number 86 to number 88. So there you have it. That's some news for you. Also, I don't remember if I gave a birthday shout out to Torrey McTyer. His birthday was recently, cornerback Torrey McTyer. So happy birthday to him. Also, it looks like the Patriots have signed Demaryius Thomas. Now, he did have an Achilles injury last year when he was with the Texans, and so now but he's going to the Patriots. I assume he'll be ready for this upcoming season, and God knows the Patriots will find a way to use him. So the Patriots get stronger, the strong get stronger, so yay for that. Obviously not really yay, but it is what it is, right? So but I just thought I'd let you guys know about that. And alright, so there's a couple things that I want to talk about a little more. So first and foremost, they had the lineup for the offensive line, or there's some tweets and some reports about who was out there. It looked like it was Tunsil, obviously at left tackle, with Zach Stirrup at right tackle, Jesse Davis at right guard, Daniel Kilgore at center, and I forgot if they even said who is at left guard. I don't recall who. Oh, Chris Reed. I'm sorry. Chris Reed was at left guard. So, Tunsil, great. Zach Stirrup at right tackle is where I would expect with the lineup and the guys that they have now. That is who I would expect they put out at right tackle. So that's not all that surprising. Jesse Davis at right guard, not surprising. Daniel Kilgore, I'm glad they did still keep him. That's good. That is one veteran, guy that you can at least have in camp. I would have kept Josh Sitton and had him in camp at least too. And then if you want to get rid of him later or at the cut downs, whatever. But I at least would have brought him into camp too to make sure that offensive line is a bit more stable. But anyway, so at least Daniel Kilgore is there, so that is good. And Chris Reed, we'll see, but up to this point, just based off of the facts, right, he's just been nothing more than a middling backup, a practice squad guy and a backup, a career backup. So we'll see, right? He's got to prove himself. It will help him, obviously, having Tunsil there on the left, having Daniel Kilgore at center is going to help. But look, man, I just hope that with like all these AAF signings and some of these guys that they brought in, I hope that they don't neglect the two most important areas still to this point, despite the signings that we have. Because look, right now, having those bodies are good, right? Having those bodies in camp, that's wonderful. See if, any of them can rise to the top, so on and so forth. But the fact of the matter is that a lot of them are unknown. A lot of them are guys that, are just backups, career backups, or practice squad guys. A lot of them didn't, succeed in the NFL. That's why they were out for a year, like Ricardo Lewis, or went to the AAF, blah, 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 right? So, unfortunately, there's not a lot of like upside there. And so I hope that they don't neglect the most important areas of need, which are, the offensive line and the defensive line in this upcoming draft. But look, hey, I don't know. There's a lot of conflicting reports on what the Dolphins are going to do. Some people are saying that they're going to go up and get their quarterback. Some say that they're going to take a quarterback or just take a whoever at 13, a defensive player. Some people say they're going to move back. I hope that they move back, accrue more draft capital, and then get their quarterback in the middle rounds. And we don't know. Obviously, we don't know. Teams do a lot of smoke screen stuff. They say a bunch of stuff and then do other things, blah, blah, blah. We don't know yet. But if it wouldn't be a surprise at all, based off of what they've done this offseason so far, it would not be a surprise at all if they did move up to go get a quarterback for multiple reasons. I mean, because look, again, first of all, I think that Stephen Ross and the fan base is going to be clamoring for a quarterback. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure there. And then also, with all these AAF signings in particular and some of these other guys they brought in, they're like, oh, what? Look, we created massive holes on the offensive and defensive lines, but look, we have all these guys that we signed. We don't know shit about them. Some of them are failures from before. Some of them were just backups, blah, blah, blah. But hey, we got bodies. We got guys in there. We got guys at those positions. Hey, so now we can trade away our draft capital, move up. Who knows? We'll see. We will know for sure in a couple weeks. But all appearances seem that they're setting themselves up for that. And then so to tie in that, to transition, that actually segues quite well into the next thing about quarterback and Ryan Fitzpatrick. So obviously, there have been videos and memes and tweets and blah, 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 blah about Ryan Fitzpatrick and so on and so forth. And look, man, so the big thing now, and like all the headlines from today are not about how he's performing or any of that. It's about that everybody's running with this quote and this line about how he said that he's in peak off-season condition. And then in joking and being sarcastic and shit, and then goes on to talk about how he's got 7 kids or whatever it is, and there's been tons of birthdays with birthday cake. And he's fat. Let's fucking be real about it. The motherfucker's fat right now. And can he work into season conditions? Sure. And that's what the off-season program's for. But look, man, and this is my perspective. This part right here, what I'm about to say, look, I'm going to try and be clearer for you guys on what is fact and what is my perspective. This is my perspective, but this team is becoming a fucking joke. Players don't want to be here. You've seen so many guys defect, leave, whatever. You've seen guys deny contracts because whatever, they don't want to come here despite getting better offers, having no state income tax, all that stuff. You have these guys like Chris Reed and Ryan Fitzpatrick. Their big thing about the big lure for Miami wasn't even the state tax or the quality of the organization or the path that they're going on. They were just excited that they're going to get a chance to be on the field because they know that they're the best that we have. They might not be good or great, but they're the best we have. And so they're going to get an opportunity to play. And that's why they came here, because they knew that, look, man, this team ain't doing shit. Nobody really wants to be here. I've been a backup my whole career. This gives me an opportunity to actually start. Like, holy shit, yeah, I'm going to take that. Fuck yeah, I'm going to take that, right? Not only that, but pretty much everybody we're picking up is either, middle ground, middle grade, or, like all of these weird, random, obscure, like places, like bargain bin guys that we're picking up, right? All this different stuff. So, and then this thing with Ryan Fitzpatrick and be like, oh, ha, 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 I'm fat now because I ate a bunch of cake in the off season. Ha, ha. It's a fucking joke. Like, it's a complete fucking joke. This team, like, if anybody thought, and it's a fact, right? If anybody thought that the Miami Dolphins were a laughingstock before, right? And frankly, I think it's because a lot of people are just sour that we're the only franchise with an undefeated season still, that we have the winningest coach in football, Don Shula. I think some people are still sour about that, and that plays into it. And then, of course, there's just a heavy Patriots bias, blah, 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 blah. But if you think that the Dolphins were a laughing stock before, bro, everybody is just clowning on the Dolphins right now. And, like, I mean, not everybody. There's a lot of people that are super excited about how the Dolphins are going right now. And it's just, it's mind-boggling because it's a complete fucking mess. And there really is no discernible plan. Really, like, what do you want to build your team through what? Free agency and with, like, middling guys, backups, trash heap, bargain bin guys, like, I'm sorry, look, this is my perspective, but they are going about this in all the wrong way. And unfortunately, you know, history has shown, now they have a chance to prove it and prove me wrong, but history has shown that, you know, things like this don't tend to work out. So we'll see. But look, man, I mean, it's sad, and it's a disaster, man. It's a complete disaster. So we'll see. I mean, look, a lot of people disagree with me, but the way I see it is this team is not going in the right direction. They're not making the most efficient, smartest, most intelligent moves that are going to build a foundation for this team that will allow us to have sustainable success over time. And not only that, but give us an opportunity to, you know, be semi-competitive now, and then, you know, actually build a proper foundation going into the future. And I think that we're going to end up having a terrible season. I think we're going to end up having a bad few seasons. And I think this coaching staff is going to get fired before they have a chance to fulfill their entire tenure, because their full tenure, because everybody's going to get all fucking butthurt as always. And then they're just going to be like, oh, this coaching staff needs to be fired and blah, 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 because they suck. But look, man, this is what people wanted. You know, they wanted us to just tear the walls down. And look, it's not like we just tore it down to the foundation. No, they ripped the foundation up too. They just completely fucking demoed everything. It's a, you know, a first year regime. It's just going to be a complete disaster. And then nobody's going to have any fucking patience. Look, again, you know, I don't agree with, like, hardly anything. There's some things that I do agree with. Like I said, I just said earlier, I agree that they, you know, I'm glad to see that they kept Daniel Kilgore. But, you know, I disagree with them. And I feel as if not only does that, you know, not make me not a fan, right? Like, a lot of people are like, oh, you're not a fan because you disagree with what they're doing. No, I think that actually makes me more of a fan, because I stay with the team even though I disagree with them, and because I aim to have a better, more efficient, smarter game plan instead of this just random, like, there's no discernible plan for what they're doing. And, you know, look, you know, a lot of people are, like, also saying that, look, you're just hating on him, you're just hating on him, you're just hating on him. No, I mean, it's just, look, I don't think it's, but regardless, you know, all these people that come at me and be like, oh, you're just hating on the team, you're not a real fan, you're just a Dolphins hater, blah, blah, blah. I'm the guy that says, hey, you know, they should have a full 5 years, even if we suck tremendously over the next 3. And I'm sorry, but all data to this point points toward a far higher likelihood that we're going to be trash for the next few years than it is even competitive. And look, again, I go back, Stephen Ross has said, he's even said it recently in interviews. He's like, hey, look, I hope it doesn't take a couple years. You know, we might not be competitive for 1, 2, 3 years, but blah, blah, blah. I hope I don't have to go 3-13. But he knows it's going to happen, right? He says all that shit, but he knows. Okay, right? So look, I mean, it's and again, like, the odds are just far higher that we're gonna be trash. And my biggest thing, again, to all you people that are just saying that I'm hating, is are you guys gonna let this regime have the full 5 years if we are trash for the next 3? Again, and I use the example, it is an extreme, but if we go on our Browns, if we pull a Browns and don't win a fucking game for a year or 2, I guarantee that, let's say we are trash, we are sub 500 and worse, like we have a 3-13 or a 4-12 season, whatever, consistently for the next 3 years, right? Let's say we go up, we get the quarterback that we want in this draft, we fail miserably, we are at the top of the draft next year, we get Tua Tagovailoa, so now we got 2 first-round quarterbacks that we wanted, blah, 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 blah. We suck again for another year. In year 3, I'm telling you, man, if that happens, then nobody's going to have fucking patience. And so I hope it doesn't work out that way, but unfortunately, from my perspective, looking at all the facts, all the data, the statistics, things that they've done, the moves, history, all of that, my perspective is that they're setting themselves up for failure, and they're setting themselves up for sure for failure in the near future, this upcoming season and the season after. And furthermore, they don't really seem to have any discernible, concrete plan on how to build for the future even. So with those 2 things, if you don't really have a chance of success now, and you're not really, I could be wrong, and I could be evaluating this completely off, right? And maybe they do end up having the right recipe for the future, but it doesn't seem like it. And then if that's the case, bro, they're not gonna last, and then we're just gonna be in the same spot that we are right now in 3 years. So anyway, we'll see what happens. I hope that's not the case, and I hope it does change, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut it there. I'm kind of starting to repeat myself a lot, and it's dragging on. So I'm going to cut it there. I hope you guys enjoy my show. I hope you guys enjoy, the different perspective, and hopefully I can bring some questions and things to the table and perspectives to the table that you're not hearing from other people. And look, I don't watch every episode of, Dudley Do Wrong or TD Phins Talk or any of that stuff, but I do watch occasionally, especially when I find, see some of their headlines that pop out to me. And look, nobody says these things. Nobody talks about the stuff that I talk about, at least not that I'm hearing or seeing, really. Not much, a little bit. There's 1 or 2 people, that are up in the comment section that agree with me, and, so on and so forth, that I talk to on a regular basis, but nobody's saying these things. And so I hope you at least, God, I'm starting to get the hiccups all of a sudden. If nothing else, I hope you guys at least enjoy the different perspective, and you enjoy the fact that I want to present to you just, I give you my perspective, but I care more about the facts and about being honest and upfront and all those things. And that's what's really important to me. So, if I'm wrong, I'm happy to change my position on the matter when, the facts dictate that I need to. So, with that, I hope you guys enjoy my videos. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. And as always, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.
Start installing the very basics of our offense and our defense and our special team stuff. I know we've got a long way to go, obviously, but in terms of the attention to detail right now and the effort, all of that is good, but it's always good on day one, and we've just got to continue to stay with it and continue to get better with it each day.
Ryan, how much work were you able to do with the receivers before this all started?
Not a ton. I mean, we're gonna have plenty of time here in the off season to get that going, and for me, one of the things I think that I do best is getting on the same page with them, and a lot of it's through hard work, whether it's the OTAs, whether it's after that, or the mini camps and training camp. But getting on the same page is important, and I've worked with a lot of different guys, and so sometimes for me, I'll put them in certain boxes, and sometimes I'll run into guys I haven't seen them anything like it. So we'll see how it goes. But so far, just in terms of the willingness to work in that group, and again, just the excitement and enthusiasm, I'm very excited about it as well.
Ryan, having the advantage of working in a lot of different locker rooms, is there something you said, knowing that your coaches come from a winning culture and can bring it to a new team?
Well, I think every situation is different, and we are going into this year with a fresh start and a fresh approach. A lot of new faces, whether it's coaches or players or people around the building. But I think, the one thing that we're all going to be on the same page with, and the one thing that we stress and preach every day, is we're here to win. And everybody in this building, whatever it takes to get this team to win, that's what you have to be willing to do. And so, we're making sure that everybody's on the same page with that, and winning is the most important thing.
The coach-QB relationship is always so important on any football team. I know both you and Brian are new here, but do you guys kind of, get together and maybe, that's some common ground you meet on and able to discuss?
Yeah, I mean, it's so early in the process again, but when I signed here, we had a couple of very nice conversations. But again, it's off season. It's I'm out here just trying to learn how to call play in the huddle and trying to get guys lined up, and like I said, walking before we can run. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now on both sides of the ball where we're really focused and trying to learn how to do our jobs the best way we can.
It seems like a little bit of a challenge, the numbers of guys out there. I think there's only like 3 running backs. There's not a lot of receivers. Have you ever been a part of a thing in the offseason where the numbers are so down?
I think as long as we have 11 guys in the huddle, then and we don't line up with 10 or 12, then I've done my job, and we go from there.
Right, you've had some stretches in your career where it seems like you can't do anything wrong. You get so hot. What is that like, and how do you handle the flip side when things are going wrong?
Well, I love a lot of things about football. One of the things I love most is the adversity, and not having things not necessarily go your way, but leaning on your teammates and making sure that you're the same guy in the building every day, same guy in the huddle on every play, and going from there. And that's something I pride myself on. But last year, especially at the beginning of last year, it was nice, for me to go out there and have some of that success. But that was last year, so I'm going to do my best to. I think in the last 4 or 5 years, I've really gotten better every year, and I think, as funny as it sounds, I think my best football is still ahead of me, and that's why I'm still playing. And I love being out there. I love being in the huddle with the guys, and hopefully, they'll get a chance to feel that and see that with me, and they'll think the same way.
I don't think you care about the Twitter trolls and whatnot, people talking about your weight. How do you feel about your weight? How do you feel right now on the field?
Well, I would say I'm in peak off-season form. I think 2 weeks ago I was in peak off-season form. The thing with me is, I have 7 kids. So in January we have 3 birthdays. So we've got, a family birthday party, which includes cake, and then we've got a friend's birthday party, which includes cake. So that's 6 times in January. We've got 3 birthdays in March 1st, March 6th, and March 11th, which again, that's a tough stretch. That's cake 6 out of, 10 or 11 days. And so then we've got an April birthday, so it doesn't slow down. But now that the birthdays are behind me, and I think I'm going to try to go from peak off-season form maybe down to peak in-season form, I'll be okay.
Should be a cakewalk, sounds like.
Wow, nice, nice.
Oh, all right.
We've got our headline, yeah.
Yes.
Ryan, we talked to Chris out in the owners' meetings. He was pretty forthcoming. You said that this isn't a long-term deal here. Is that a conversation you had, that that this is a shorter-term deal?
Well, I've been at this thing for going on 15 years, so I know the way the league works, and I know for me, I put my focus and energy on doing the best that I can and being the best player I can be, and things have tended to work out if I've done that, and so that's what I do. I just put my energy and get myself better and get my teammates better, and that's all I focus on.
Well, Brady says he wants to play till 45. Is there a number you have in mind?
No, I don't have a number. I just I still really enjoy playing, so it was an easy decision for me.
Have you had a conversation with Minka about Fitzmagic? Are you guys going to double up on that this year? Or?
I don't know what you're referring to.
Okay. Wasn't sure.
Yeah. No, he, you know what, it was one of the first things. We kind of smiled at each other when we met, and I mean, it was a cheesy line, but I'll say it again. Like, I think there's enough magic to go around, you know, especially being on different sides of the ball.
Ryan, you spoke about the new faces, the new step this franchise is kind of taking. You're joining. Where do you believe you fit in all of this?
I mean, my whole career, and I think for everybody, not just here but around the league, you can't take anything for granted. You just have to go out and work as hard as you can, and you know, that's what I'm here to do. Put my head down, ignore any and everything that goes on outside of this building, and see if I can be the best player I can be, and bring guys up and make the guys around me better.
You've been in a couple of quote-unquote rebuilding teams. What do you see as like the key of being a part of those teams?
Well, I think, you know, today getting out here on the field and installing a new offense, a new language, communication is going to be huge for us. Being able to make sure that we're all on the same page, we're not afraid to ask questions, but at the same time knowing that we're holding each other accountable. And, you know, a mistake here or there is okay, but when the same one happens over and over again, that's not good. There's something wrong. We've got to find a different way to study and do it. So being accountable, not just with yourself, but with others as well, and just making sure that everybody's also working on their dependability and taking this thing serious.
Last question, guys. All right, do you watch the draft?
You know, less and less every year. I think it drags on a lot, so I get it. My kids are in it and interested in it, but yeah, if my kids didn't want it on, it probably wouldn't be on.
Have they moved down here yet?
No.
About fundamentals, technique. You know, again, this is a teaching camp. You know, we're not going to conquer the world over these next 3 days, but this is a teaching camp. We talked about that this morning with the players. Again, you know, it's fundamentals, it's technique, it's, you know, our basic information, our basic installation. It's getting out here, it's, you know, getting in and out of a huddle, quarterback center exchange, ball security, you know, the basic you know, elements of football. Because if you don't have that as a foundation, we really can't, we can't do much after that. So.
Brian, what into the AAF guys that you brought in? There's a whole batch of them, obviously.
You know, I think the guys we brought in, they you know, had some success in the AAF, and you know, they're good players. They're you know, good people, and you know, they'll come in and have an opportunity to show what they can do, and if they can help this team win games, and you know, they'll be out there. That's for sure.
Brian, how would you sum up what you saw in phase 1 of the offseason program?
Well, you know, phase 1, we don't really, you know, we don't get to see them, you know, very much. You know, they're in there with the strength coaches for the most part, strength training. You know, our coaches get them a little bit in some meetings. So that was good. That part of it was good. I think we've got a group that, you know, they work hard. They're, you know, eager to learn. It's a new system for everyone. And I think they've done a good job over these first couple weeks, but it's so early, you know, you can't make a determination of this guy can do this, that guy can do that. I mean, we haven't even stepped on the field yet.
Brian, the roster looks relatively thin. You don't even have enough offensive linemen to put together 2 lines. How do you address that with 7 draft picks?
You know, right now my focus is on getting out there for practice with the you know, with the players we have, you know, and the guys we have, whether it's, you know, however many or however little, you know, we're going to do everything we can to help those guys improve, help those guys become the best version of themselves, and, you know, we'll worry about, you know, draft and things of that nature when we get to that. You know, I think I'm you know, I tell those guys, take it one play at a time. You know, I got to practice what I preach. So that's kind of my objective and my goal here over the next few days.
Where are Gene Grant and Albert Wilson in their recoveries from injury?
Those guys are working extremely hard to get back out on the field. They've, you know, they're in here a lot. They're in here. They're doing everything they can do to get back on the field. So, you know, hopefully we see them out there, you know, as soon as possible.
The international player, the Brazilian, I believe it's Nato. Yeah, how do you work with a guy when he might not have football instincts, those natural?
I think this is a great time for him to be here because it's strictly fundamentals, it's strictly technique, it's the most basic part of the football where you're laying a foundation down. So, I talked to him yesterday and I said, this is a great time for you to be here. He'll be working hand placement, footwork. You'll learn the basics of, our defense and, from that standpoint. And, I'm excited to have him. He's a good-looking young kid, and, we'll work with him, and we'll try to get, look, from what he's been here a day. So the time I spent with him, he seems like he's eager to learn. He's eager to put in a lot of effort, and we'll try to maximize, his potential, which I think there's something there.
Brian, how important is it to have a veteran like Ryan Fitzpatrick came through as a quarterback, considering the transition of this team right now, and is he the anticipated starter going into the season?
I think, Ryan's a great leader. He's shown that already. He's been in this league a long time. He's smart. He works hard. He embodies a lot of the qualities we're looking for in our players. Not even our players, everyone in this organization. So, that leadership, is something that, I think this team needs. I think every team needs that. We need that from not just one player. We need that from, everyone on the roster. So, I think to me, leadership is, you don't have to be a rah-rah guy to lead. You got to work hard and put the team first. And I think we got a group of guys who do that. And I think that'll help us. And I think he kind of leads the way from that standpoint.
What have the last 2 months been like for you?
They've been a lot of fun. I'm living a dream. So there's a lot going on. To be in this position, you're dealing with, players, coaches, Chris and I work, we talk, daily on a daily basis about, over the last 2 months, obviously we had free agency and draft and combine and 30 visits, and, those have all been parts of this process that I haven't dealt with before, but, kind of going through it's been good. And it's been a learning process, and, like the players, I try to learn and improve every day. I tell them to do that. Again, I'm practice what I preach, so I've learned and tried to improve on a daily basis, and I'll continue to do that.
Does it enter a different phase today when you step on the field? Is this kind of a different category for you?
This enters the phase that I'm used to and I enjoy the most. I'm passionate about coaching football. So today's a special day to me. It's a special day for me, for this team, and I'm excited to come out here and do what I love to do, which is coach football.
From Grant and Jakeem that you just mentioned, is there anyone else that won't be working today or you don't expect to be working today?
This is, I'll just this is a voluntary camp. Obviously, we've had a pretty good, we've had most of the guys here. I'll tell you this, just being frank and honest, which I'm going to try to do that with you guys. Rashad Jones won't be here today, and he and I have been in constant communication. I'm aware that he's not going to be here. But with that said, like I've said already, I'm going to coach the guys who are here. I'm going to help those guys, improve. Our coaching staff's going to do the same, that's that.
Do you see Rashad as part of the organization that you're building?
Yeah, he's here, and he's part of the organization. And again, I don't want to make this he and I have been in constant communication. So, again, it's voluntary. He made a decision to train somewhere else, and it's voluntary. There's not much we can do about it, and that's where that is.
So I guess from your understanding, it's not based on his roster status. It's not
No.
he decided separately.
Yeah, exactly. He and I obviously communicated about it, and it's voluntary. So that's where it is. It's not the first time a guy hasn't showed up to a voluntary camp, guys. It's voluntary. So.
Surgery in February, is that a factor into it as well?
Yep. I mean, I would say, there's a few factors, but I would say that Rashad, he's obviously rehabbing the shoulder, and he's training. I mean, he's been here. He looks good. He's been in all the meetings. That's been good, and I think he's learning all the terminology and learning the defense, and that's been good. So, it's part of the process.
So you're okay with it, or you're disappointed, or you what?
I'm focused on the guys who are here. That's where I'm at. So that's where I'm at. So the guys who are here, I'm going to coach them. I'm going to coach them hard. I'm going to try to help them improve, and that's kind of my stance on that.
Is Rashad upset about anything?
You'd have to talk to Rashad about that.
Brian, one last thing on Rashad. Has he indicated if he wants to be on the team next year, or has he asked for you to try to move him into trade?
I'm going to tell you guys this. My conversations with our players, I'm going to keep them private, and I'm going to leave it right there.
How are you going about, managing and delegating everything that comes with your responsibility from the draft, free agency, those type of things, and, like you said, your favorite part of football?
That part of it's been good, and I think delegating is something that's, I want to say, it's newer in this role. I've delegated in the past in some other roles, but it's different in this role. But I've got a lot of people on this staff that I trust. So delegating to them is, it's pretty seamless for me. It's not, a huge issue, but a lot of the things, obviously, I want everything run by my desk and, kind of, the way I want things. So, yeah, I think it hasn't been an issue.
Coach, you felt how hot it is out there? Is that a change?
I enjoy the heat, so it's not going to be an issue for me at all, guys. I've heard that over and over and over again since I've been here, and we'll see how hot it gets. But that's never really been an issue for me.
Players aside from Wilson and Grant physically that aren't able to go yet.
They're not creating.
Well, again, I'm gonna, from a that standpoint, I'll kind of. The injury report comes out at some when's that, in September? So we'll go with that.
Brian, when you first got in front of the team, what were, say, 2 or 3 main bullet points you wanted to get across to the players to kind of set the tone?
Let's focus on improving. Let's focus on our technique. Let's focus on our fundamentals, and let's establish a practice tempo that will be. Because again, practice execution becomes game reality. I firmly believe that. That's something I've learned over the years. So let's establish a practice routine, establish practice habits, and focus on improvement. That's probably 4 or 5 bullet points, but that's kind of was the crux of our conversation this morning.
Obviously, Rashad's absence impacts Minkah because Minkah, you wanted to cross-train him at cornerback and at safety, or at least it seems so. Does he now have to primarily focus on safety?
Minkah's going to play multiple roles. I don't think, someone being out of lineup would affect that too much at this time. Again, this time of year we're not going to be in and out of crazy, alignments or defensive. We're not going to be in our exotics, I would say. This is not the time for that. This is about, again, fundamentals and, technique and basic information installation. So, not really.
Brian, how important do you see this time of year in terms of establishing the foundation and, like you mentioned, the practice?
I think every day counts. Every day counts. I think every day is a day to improve, a day to get better, and, I think any situation or, any time we can improve is the difference between getting 4th and 1 and not getting 4th and 1. So, yeah, I think this counts, and I'm excited about it, and hopefully we can, win today.
Brian, draft preparation, how different is it between last year and this year, defensive coordinator and head coach?
Again, right now my focus is on going out here in 15 minutes and working on helping these guys improve. So again, I'm a one play at a time guy. That's what I tell the players. I got to practice what I preach. So that's kind of where my focus is. I understand the question. I know that's coming up, and
And you just speak as a guy who loves today, who lives for coaching, but you've got the draft duties also splitting up time during the week. Has that been a big change? Has that been difficult? Is it a little bit of a distraction, or how would you describe that?
I mean, I would describe it as part of the job. You know, I've got to compartmentalize. I think you guys have talked about that already. I've got a myriad of things I need to do. You know, the draft process is one of them. You know, the meetings with the players is another one. And then there's, you know, various things that I'm you know, in charge of, I would say, or things that I have to do. So, you know, that's part of the job, and you know, that part of it's, you know, it's fun too. So that's kind of where I'm at.
What level of input do you have? Does Chris come to you and say, "Hey, we like these 5 guys. Which ones do you like the most?" How does that work?
Chris and I are in, you know, constant communication. You know, whether it's on the phone, whether you know, he's in my office, I'm in his office. We're in constant communication about players. You know, draft, free agency, AAF players. So, you know, he and I have a really good relationship. You know, we're aligned on a lot of the things that we're looking for in players. You know, he's excited about, you know, seeing the guys come out here today, and you know, that's kind of, you know, it's been a pretty good, not pretty good, a very good, you know, working relationship.
Alright guys, so you've reached the end of my video, you've reached the end of the interviews, and I hope you guys enjoy my video. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section, and as always, make sure you follow me on Twitter @Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.